me turn this off too, because I see the enemy. All of we live right now. Okay. Okay. Forgive me. The enemy live right now. He's playing with the internet and everything. Been getting attacked by the spirit and Ivan and everything, all in the shower, getting out of the shower. And I've told y'all many times before that spirit is a cursed spirit. You know, people been trying to get me to believe that it's Paul's spirit and all that old kind of stuff there. You know, I ain't falling up none of the spirit that the church has allowed up in there. It's an old ancient Egyptian priest spirit. Okay, ain't no spirit that's supposed to be serving God, or no angel that's supposed to be serving God gonna come against you praying, come against you praising the Lord, or trying to do anything good for the Lord. It ain't gonna do it, and that spirit does all of that. And I told y'all years ago, I was on a bus, I seen the spirit sitting in a young man that was homosexual, and the spirit was looking back at me, had the same bloodshot eyes, and was just smiling like, yeah, I got him. But I ain't gonna keep on with that because time is short. I believe I started this about a minute ago, so got to be off here by 10:17. So let me go to where I'm supposed to be at in here. First two things I want to do, I want to make this straight. This that I got right here, this right here. Let me do this. This right here, where you see the 37 times 3, 37 times 6, 37 times 9 on down. This right here, I got from a young woman that posted it on Facebook. Okay, named Michelle. I can't think of her last name, but she posted this back in 2015 or 2017. I got this from her. I knew about 37 times 21, 37 times 24, and 37 times 27. I knew about that some years ago. But the other parts, I just learned about these right here the other day when I was doing research on the number 37 because of the way that it was speaking. But this right here, this did not come from me. It came from that young lady named Michelle. I can't think of her last name. Now, I took and I did all the rest of this because I'm, always looking to see how the numbers finish manifesting themselves, or will manifest themselves in other ways. Next thing I'm gonna do it in Egyptian air too, because it should show something else too there. But I went on and times it up, and I'm the one that took and put all the odds over on one aisle and all the evils on another, because I know that you can get revelations from out of that too. So I did that, but she did this. Don't want to take the credit for what she did or what she might have learned from something else, but I didn't come up with that myself. So before I get ready to get off into this, I wanted to play that song from Jordan G again, but YouTube won't let me find it. So, cause that's why our eyes need to be, or our heart needs to be, just like we need our eyes open, we need our hearts open to God, and that's the perfect song that to me that align up with this. But this song here too, by the young lady or Victory Boyd, lines up pretty good too with this message. So listen to this. I don't own the rights to it, and I hope she don't get upset by me using it, but there's a lot of meaning in this too. So please listen to this song, and I hope that y'all enjoy it.
I've gone to war against the forces of hell for you. Piercing thorns, weathered raging storms, just to be with you. I won the war, but didn't win your heart, and that's what I was fighting for. I settled the score for you, and I know you didn't ask me to, but I already bled for more. Let me in. I'll be like a fire burning inside you. I wanna give my love to you. I wanna fill you up with truth, and I want to because I love you. I love you, I love you. I want to because I love you. I love you, I love you. My heart is torn when I see torment steal from you. He comes back for more until the storehouse is raided through. Let me restore. I kicked down the door and took back what belongs to you. As a man, I came to fight for you. And I know you didn't ask me to, but I already overcame for you. Don't you ignore. Open the door. Let me in. I'll be like a force of wind in you. Your spirit is poor. I see you searching for more. Let me in. I'll be like a fire burning inside you. I wanna give my love to you. I wanna fill you up with truth, and I want to because I love you, not because I need you. I love you. I want you because I love you, not because I need you. I want you because I love you. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I said I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I said I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I said I love you. And I don't mind laying down my life just to have you, just to call you my own, so that you never have to be alone. 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 Oh, 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 yes. Said I love you. I love you. Don't you ignore. Open the door. Let me in. And I will be like a force of wind in you.
Thank you, young lady. Okay. Before going any farther, I'm gonna just read this right quick again. We're going back to Psalms chapter 119, verse 105, because this is what we we hoping for, and that I know to be true. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that it manifests for y'all like it has been manifesting for me and for others. Psalms 119, verse 105 to verse 112, it says, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path." And that's what the word is. It's a light that lightens up the path for us. You know, it's life. Keep in mind, John chapter 1, verse 4. It's real clear in there. It says that, let me read it because I messed things up. John chapter 1, verse 4. "In him was life, and the life was the light of men." Okay, now we're going to go and read this. "That word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I have sworn and I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgment. I am afflicted very much. Quicken me, O Lord, according unto thy word." Thy word. "Accept, I beseech thee, thy freewill offering of my mouth, O Lord, and teach me thy judgments. My soul is continuously in my hand, yet do I not forget thy laws. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I err not from thy precepts. Thy testimonies have I taken as a heritage forever, for they are the rejoicing of my heart." That's another reason why I wanted to play that song from Joe and G about when she says about open up my eyes, Lord. You know, so because we need for our eyes to be open and our hearts to be touched by God. Okay, anyway, 112. "I have inclined my heart to perform thy statutes always, even unto the end." Now, we're in the same Psalms 119, and we're going to verse 169 to verse 176. "Let my cry come near before thee, O Lord. Give me understanding according to thy word, Yahweh. Let my supplication come before thee. Deliver me according to that sweet word, Yahweh. My lips shall utter praise when thou hast taught me thy righteous statutes. My tongue shall speak of thy word, Yahweh, for all thy commandments are righteous. Let thy hand help me, Yahweh, for I have chosen thy precepts. I have longed for thy sweet salvation, O Lord, and thy laws is my delight. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee, Yahweh, and let thy judgment help me. I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek thy servant, for I do not forget thy righteous commandments." Mighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your word is a light that shines bright, that can show us the right way in which we need to go. So I ask humbly in the mighty name of Yeshua Jesus Christ of Nazareth that you touch that great treasure that's within all of us, that's spoken about in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7, about a great treasure that's within all of us, you know, that contains your glory. And is to let it be known that your glory exists in us. But we need for the one that knows it to touch it. The one that knows the end from the beginning, like Isaiah chapter 46, verse 10 says. We come to you, mighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, and your son, Yeshua Jesus Christ of Nazareth, asking you to abide in us like your word says in John 14 and 23. For we stand on your word. We love your word. We know that your word is true. So in saying all that, we ask, Heavenly Father, just like we ask that you touch us and let the light shine in us that you have already put in us, that you come for, we ask it for others, Heavenly Father. For we know that it's selfish to only think about ourselves when there's so many others that you love too. So in saying all this, I just say hallelujah, Heavenly Father, and guide me as I do this. All right, we're going to go to James chapter 4, because it's real important that I read this, because it's a lot of people that's still not getting this right here about James. And I'm just going to focus, I was gonna read 1-7, but I'm gonna focus on James chapter 1-3. Okay, James chapter 4 verse 1-3. Listen carefully, because this is where a lot of y'all still are, and this is why the fight is so tremendous for y'all and for me. Because I'm fighting with y'all in the spirit, because y'all want something that y'all can't make God give y'all. Okay? So I'm fighting because I'm trying to take and do right so I can get it and give y'all the word. And y'all fighting because y'all want it and y'all don't understand that y'all can't get it because of the lust that's welling up in y'all. So let's read this. James chapter 4 verse 1-3. From whence cometh wars and fighting among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that wars in your members? Ye lust and have not. Ye kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain. Ye fight and war, yet ye have not, because you ask not. Ye ask and receive not, because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. A lot of y'all right now, if y'all had $1 million, would you go jack it off with just buying stuff, cars and all that? One thing about, really, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of, because you're so caught up in the worldly things, the money would just blow it. And if you pay attention to a lot of these NBA players, baseball players and all that, and pay attention, a lot of them will tell you that they lost their money right after they stopped playing. Why? Because they didn't understand, what the money was for. It was meant to take and work on their behalf so they can enjoy life. But a lot of them will take and go out and there, buy 15, 20 Rolexes that cost $200,000-$300,000 and stuff. Like, why? If you pay attention to some of these guys that do watch collections that they got, jewelry collections they got, for what? Anyway, lust. Now we're gonna go on and get over to this message, because I thought that I would be in John chapter 3 today, and going from John chapter 3 to John chapter 7. But as I was taking and I was doing this, Genesis chapter 3 began to speak to me. And the way that it began to speak, I began to understand it. So here it is. I'm just going to read what I wrote down, and then hopefully we'll have enough time, a little time to be able to talk about it. Anyway, today's date is 8/19/2026, 2:51 p.m. Genesis chapter 1 verse 3 has begun to speak to me as I thought about Ezekiel 37. Okay, so I was thinking about Ezekiel 37, because the way that Ezekiel 37 and John chapter 3 was connecting, but I wasn't able to really to put it together, because I hadn't really read it enough over and over to have it to link. Because I found out that when you read stuff over and over and over again, it begins to marinate in your soul, and other stuff that you read too, you can take, and it marinates enough to where you can take and be able to put them together. Okay. But as I was thinking about as I was thinking about John chapter 3 and Ezekiel 37, because the number 37 was in John chapter 3 in a powerful way. So as I was thinking about that, I got taken back to Genesis chapter 1 verse 3. Okay? So here it is. Now in Genesis chapter 1 verse 3, Father Elohim Yahweh speaks and says, and God said, let there be light. Now we have Father Elohim Yahweh speaking about light in the middle of the verse. Okay? This is said in 4 words that has 15 letters in it. This gives us 4 plus 15 equals 19. Okay? Now the middle is 2. The middle of 3 is 2. Because you have 3 parts. The middle of 3 is 2, like I just said. Now the four words plus the 15 letters make 19. Plus the 2 parts gives us 21. I've spoken over and over many times about what comes after the 21 because of what I learned from Dr. Bynum or Prophetess Bynum years ago. Genesis 1 verse 1 has 3 7s in it as well. As I already posted and showed y'all the chart where 37 times, it's 37, hold on, it's 37 times 21 gives you 777, but it also gives you the 21 when you add the 3 7s up. It gives you 37 times 21 gives you 777. You break 777 down, you get 3 times 7, that's 21. So that has 21 in it. Okay, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Genesis 1:1 has the 3 7s in it as well. Now I just showed y'all and just showed y'all how to 37 times 21 equals 777. So that shows you 21 and the 3 7s. But this never clicked until I heard her speak on Lamech, Noah's father. When she spoke about him living 777 years old and what happened after a light just went off. I then began to understand the significance of the 777 and the 21 because I learned long ago to follow the flow of numbers. Okay? I learned long ago to follow the flow of numbers. Okay? To follow the flow of numbers because it has a flow to them just like a sound. And they can speak real loud. Anyway, Genesis 1:1 has the 3 7s in it and the 21 because the 3 7s break down 21. So does verse 3 in Genesis chapter so does verse 3 in Genesis chapter 1. Now, back to verse 3. And no, because, people's in the spirit realm. And no, I'm not telling anyone to follow Dr. Bynum. I'm just letting the truth be known where the light in me turned on with the 777 and the 21. It was while I was listening to her. I'm not telling anyone to follow her. Okay? But the truth be known, the light went off of me as I was listening to her and following her. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that she's doing right now. And I'm not going to say that God didn't call her because I believe he did. I believe she just caught up just like Brian Kern and other people is right now. And to me, it's a great loss, because she's a hell of she knows that word, Anyway, now back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. The middle has 4 words and 15 letters and 2 parts, which equals 21. It always what comes after the 21. The middle, God said, "Let there be light," equals 21. Now there are parts. Now their parts say, and the way, and now the third part, that should be 3. Now the third part says, and there was light. So this verse verse 3 has 3 parts to it. The middle part is 2, where God said, let there be light. The third part, which is the last part, and it said, and there was light. Now, we pay attention to this, and it's because I got right here, right? Let's reflect on the flow of the words, letters, and parts in the verse. Verse 3. We are going to John chapter 3 pointing to this, okay? John chapter 3 points, what does John chapter 3 points to? When you go to John chapter 3 and you go to the middle, the second verse in there has 37 words. What do you get when you come to the end of Genesis chapter 1, verse 3? You get the number 37. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. You get the number 37. So I'm trying to get y'all to see this 37 thing. And we know 37 reflects Christ, divine, what else was that in there? I had to, okay, it reflects, okay, 37 reflects, 37, hold on, because I should have been, I'm just, 37, the value of the key, of the sacred key words, it reflects that, and it acts as a mathematical signature for creation and redemption. So these are some of the things that the 37 reflects. Hebrew meaning and gematria, the only son. The Hebrew phrase for the only son, okay, 37 reflects Jesus. I can't say that word. Has a gematria, letters, number value of 37, okay? Connecting the number to Isaac or Jesus, okay? Then we go on down here again about 37. Feast of the Lord, the Hebrew word for feast of the Lord, I can't pronounce it, also totals 37. Multiples in creation. The very first verse of the Bible, Genesis 1:1, just got to talk about, in the beginning God created, has a total Hebrew gematria value of 2,701, which is the product of 37 times 73. I mean, we can go on and on about this, but what I was trying to show y'all is how in the part where God said, let there be light, and there was light, you get the number 37 there too. And all this started because of John. Let me go to John, because I know I ain't going to be able to get off into John like I want to. But let's just go to John chapter 3, and we're going to read verse 2. And it says, the same came, okay, verse 1, 2, 3. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God, for no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with him. This is said in 37 words. And this is the middle verse between the verse 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Now, the third verse right here says, Jesus answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. So this is a kingdom thing, okay, a divine thing. So now let's go back, okay. Now I just showed y'all how the third verse of Genesis chapter 1 verse 3 has the 37 in it, and we find the 37 in John chapter 3 verse 2. And in here, Nicodemus is saying no man can do these things unless they come from God. And he's speaking about miracles. We know that all that the 37 is tied to redemption. Just got to read them. Divineness, Jesus, and all that. So we know all of that. Now we need to move. But the words But the words point to chapter 4 of Genesis and the verse and the 15th verse. Okay, so it will speak to me about that. It sent me to John chapter 3 because 37 was speaking. But then as I was getting ready to take and do this and go to John, Genesis chapter 4 verse 15 began to speak to me, because in the middle you get 4 words and 15 letters. So Genesis chapter 4 verse 15 spoke to me. Now pay attention. 4th chapter, 15th verse. The middle has, pay attention, the middle has 7 words and has the word sevenfold. Has the word sevenfold in the middle too, as being the 7th word. Okay? Now, say this again. The middle of the 4th chapter, 15th verse has 7 words in the middle. Okay, let's go and read it, because I don't want to just do all numbers and not read the word. That's how I would mess up on this and not be speaking y'all in the right way. Let's read it first, okay? And the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slay Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. Okay? And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Now this said a 32 word. Now Cain is I'm gonna have to say a reflection of right now what's going on with Ishmael. Here we know 32 reflects Ishmael. I showed you that over and over. But let's get back to the middle of this. Okay, the middle is part 3, and it got vengeance shall be taken on him. This is said in 7 words. Vengeance 1, shall 2, be 3, taken 4, on him 5, on 5, him 6, sevenfold 7. So you have 7 words in the middle. Now pay attention to this. And has the word sevenfold. So that's 7 again. So you have 2 7. That's 2 7 showings in the middle. Now watch this. As being the 7th word, so two 7s. We are in the middle. We are in the middle. That's in the middle. I'm writing fast. The 21, we are in the middle, in the second 7 of the 21-year cycle is what I was trying to write. We are in the middle of the 21-year cycle, which puts us at the second 7. Let me read it like I got it wrote down. I'm gonna get confused. Here God acknowledges Cain's sin. Pay attention. Here God acknowledges Cain's sin and evil, but still gives him a chance. Pay attention. 17 words to the sevenfold. Okay? There's 17 words. You go from the beginning to where sevenfold is mentioned. It's 17 words. Okay? Now, 17 means good. Now God goes on to put a mark on Cain. When you get to Cain's name, it's the 25th word. 25 breaks down to 7. Now this gives you the third 7 and the number 21. So here it is. You got the 21 here. You got the 21 in Genesis chapter 3 in the middle. Okay? You got the 21 here too. But it's at Cain's name. And it's hidden in the 25. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. Slow down. Okay. Now, if we pay attention to this, the middle's sevenfold last words speak to us powerfully. Because if you count the middle word, you get the number 7, then sevenfold is the seventh word. As I said, thus you get 77. That speaks about the 2 pairs of 7 message. Okay? What God's trying to warn us. And here, God tried to warn Cain. If you go back to verse 6 and 7 in chapter 4, God was trying to warn Cain about the sin that he was getting ready to commit. Okay? Now, here we are in the second 7 right now, in the middle 7. This verse shows us in the middle the second 7. Okay? Sign. We are in the second 7 now of the 21-year cycle. Now, when you count from the beginning of verse 15 to sevenfold, you will get the number 17, as I said, which reflects the word good. God said 10 times, and God said 10 times, and good is mentioned 7 times. God also rests on the 7th day. So the 7 shows in 2 different ways to make 17 and to reflect God's goodness. Okay? Now we have Father Elohim Yahweh reflecting his goodness to man's nature that has been changed. He's still showing his goodness even though he knows the nature of man has changed because of the fall. Why? Because God is good. Okay? Now just pay attention. God tried to talk to Cain back then. God tried to minister and talk to Cain then letting them know that I'm putting a mark on you, ain't nobody gonna touch you. Still the redemption thing. Okay? Now, what did it say the 37 is? The 37 reflects redemption. Where did we find the 37 at? In Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. Where did we find the 37 at? In John chapter 3, verse 2. Where it's talking about miracles. And can't no man do these type of things unless they come from God. Okay? Now, where is nature? Now read verse 16, 17, 18, and 19. So I'm going to read this. Okay? And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. That's real important. Cain just committed murder. Killed his brother, a righteous man. But he was still in the presence of the Lord. What does that say about God? God is real good. And he's always trying to reach us. Remember Yah 10, hand? I'm going to show y'all 2 10s in this. Where God was still reaching. Even though man's nature had fell from being good to being filled with something that God didn't give them. Okay? Now pay attention. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. Pay attention and let that soak in. And dwelt in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Now, the land of Nod, that's a whole nother thing we can get off into too, but we're going to just stick to it. Verse 17, and Cain knew his wife that was already in another land, okay? And she conceived and bare Enoch, and he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. I can't pronounce it. I'm bad at pronouncing things, so forgive me. Verse 18, and unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad beget Mijod, and so forth begot Methuselah, and Methuselah begat Lamech. That's what I really want to get to is Lamech. At 18 verse so Lamech come. Okay? Now here we go right here. Lamech or Lamech. Now in verse 19 we pay attention, and Lamech took unto him 2 wives. Pay attention to him. Two wives. So here we see the sinful nature producing itself right there. Because what did God give Adam? He gave Adam 1 wife, according to the word. But here, this man is getting ready to commit a sin. He takes him 2 wives right on back. Pay attention to it. Now, remember in Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, we had the 4 words and the 15 letters that made the 19th. So this 19 is a reflection of what's in the middle of Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. Because it brings us to here. Okay? Brings us to here. Now, let me just go and show you how it's connected. Show you how it's connected. We are right here. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. Pay attention. 19 and 2 is what? 21. Did we get the 19 with the 2 in Genesis chapter 1 verse 3? Yeah, because we had the 4 words, 15 letters that made the 19. Then there was the second part that made the 21. Reflection. She has showed in this. Now I'm giving a show how to connect more. Watch this. Now we're moving on. He took 2 wives, okay? Real important. See, the sin nature began to rise because God said 1. He gave Adam 1 wife, okay? The middle part, pay attention to this. Watch this, the middle part. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other Zillah. Zillah, or however you pronounce it. Now, in the middle, when he mentioned it, in the name of the one was Ada, this said the 7 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 when you get to Ada. So you got the second 7. So here it is, we got these 2 7s again. We had these 2 7s shown in verse 15. Okay? Had these 2 7s shown in verse 15. And we had the 2 7s shown in verse 19. See the flow of it? Now watch this. Now when you get to his second wife, Zillah, same thing. Said in 7 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we had 3 7s in verse 19 showing itself in a powerful way, and 3 7s in verse 15 showing itself in a powerful way, and both of them are making 21. So that's us back in Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, and the middle, because of what comes after. What come after that was because God said, let there be light, and then it said, and there was light. What was he doing? He was shining the light on what was out there. I know I'm getting out of that because I ain't looked down at this. I'm doing this from the top of my head and need to be careful. Okay, anyway, I got a little ahead of myself, so let me read it from what I got wrote down, okay? So now read verse 16, 17, and 19. Then talk about how verse 19 reflects 15. I just did it. And Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, which I'm doing. Now the number 19 is in the middle part of verse 3. Okay? I just talked about that. The 4 words and 15 letters equal 19. I just talked about it. Now the 19th verse, first part has 7 words, just talked about it. Second part has 7 words, just talked about that. And 22 letters, which I'm going to get back to, because that's really important, because you add 7 and 22 together, you get 29. Real important. Because later on, I'm going to show y'all where the 29 showed up in Genesis. I mean, in John chapter 3, verse 2, in a powerful way that would have gave you all 6 numbers from Saturday's drawing. Miracle is the 29th word. But see, I didn't see that when I was told to do what I was doing. But later on, as I relaxed, I realized what the missing number was. It was miracle is the 29th word in that verse. And that's the only number that's missing from what I was told to do Saturday. Anyway, so you get the 29 right there, but we focus on the 7, okay? 19th verse, first part, 7 words. Second part, 7 words with 22 letters later. The third part has 7 words, which I'm just talking about, with 26 letters. Get to that later. Now show the 14 in verse 19 in the middle. In the middle. Because, okay, in verse 19 you get 14 in the middle because you get the first part got 7 words in, the second part got 7 words in. That equals 14. Now in the 15th verse you have 7 words and in the middle and the 7th word is 7-fold, which equals 14. So you're getting 14 in the middle of both of these verses, showing you how the numbers are speaking with the words and lining up and pointing right back to God, saying, let there be light, and he's shining a light on the things that come from the 3rd verse all the way up to the 4th chapter, all the way to the end of the Bible. Because remember, say ain't nothing new under the sun. We're going to get to that too, hopefully. So anyway, here it is. God is shining light on the things that didn't happen in the past and the things that's going to happen. And he's letting us know through his word. His word is speaking. His word is alive. We're in the 21-year cycle right now. Okay? Gave this warning way before I found any of this. It was given to me. So here it is. Just show y'all the 14, how it's lining up. Now, both has the number 7 in it. Verse 19 has 21 words in it, and the verse and the verse 15, the 21 shows up at Cain's name as the number 25. So the 7 was hidden in the 25 to make the 21. Okay? That needs to be broken down to 7 because 2 plus 5 equals 7. So sometimes what you might need to understand, you might need to look at the word and the number at the same time and go all the way down, all the way breaking it down to really get what might be hidden there or might be said in there. So you're getting the 21 when you take and do that. Does this give you 7, 7, 7 and 21? Now remember, Cain was in God's presence. You get the 777 in Genesis when it says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. 777 shows in there at the beginning. Now, it's saying that Cain was in God's presence. Again, we know that God created the heavens and earth, and the first number that you find in there, when you get to doing that with the 37s and all that, is 777, then 888, then 999. Then showed y'all that. Okay? So 777 breaks down to 21. So it's what comes after. I need y'all to get this. In both verses, which reflects Genesis 1 and 3. Okay? Get to 21, then they say, and there was light. The 16 letters makes the 37. Okay? But we must not overlook what verse 15 is pointing to. Follow Elohim Yahweh forgave Cain of his evil and gave him another chance. Okay? Gave him another chance. Remember, the number 21 shows up at his name hidden in the 25, in the number 25. Now, if you pay attention, his grandson had the name, his grandson had that same opportunity God gave to Cain, but that evil was buried deep within the soul, in the soul man. Verse 23. Now we read verse 23. Look what it said. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice. Ye hear my. It said, and Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. So he had just killed someone. So you see that seed that was in Cain ended up sowing up in his grandson. But his grandson had the same opportunity that his grandfather had. Now watch the words of the grandson. Watch this. If Cain should be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. Now we find Jesus saying that same thing about forgiving 7 times 7. Okay? So it's one of them same little things. But we know it was with God before it was with his grandson. That word. Okay? Just like we know that God put a mark up on Cain, and he's speaking about in the end time how the beast gonna try to take and put a mark in us. Okay? Just like God did. But God goes on to talk about, if you get to read in Revelation 19 and 20 and all that, that there is another mark that's up on those who are his too. So that's a whole nother thing. I done got them going off of something else. So let me go back to this. Okay. But you see how the sin was buried deep. So what was in there was never broken. It passed down from the grandfather to the grandson. And that's what's going on with a lot of us. Generational curses is operating in us that needs to be broke. Okay, so anyway, now I must back up because we never did get to the good part of God's love for us in Genesis chapter 1 verse 3. Forgive me. The middle of verse 3 in Genesis 1 took me to Genesis 4 verse 15 and 19, but I didn't finish showing his goodness in verse 3. Now let there be light equals 21. Part 3, and there was light equals 37, and is the 11th word, and the third part. Now how do you get the 37? Middle equals 21. Let there be light. Now there was light. 4 words. 4 words plus 21 equals 25. So we know it's not there. Now 37. Okay. Now how do we get to 37? So let's continue the process. And there was light. The 4 words have 16 letters. 21 plus 16 equals 37. So we got it in the letters. Okay? So we know that God's divine nature and redemption was there at work from the time he spoke that. Okay? And we go back to verse 2. Remember, his spirit hovered up over the earth. In John chapter 2, we're going to get to the part where Jesus is talking about, you know, that man had to be born of water and spirit. So we're going to all that in. I got to get off here in a minute. So let me go ahead and try to do this. Now we did all this. Why? What are you saying? What are you saying? Or better yet, what are you saying God's word is saying to us? I'm glad you asked. Hereafter God or Elohim said, let there be light. there was like verse 4 to the end, which is verse 31, speaks to us about the things he had created for us before us. 28 verses of love speaking, because from the 4th verse to the 31st verse, he's revealing what's already there. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9 and 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9 and 10. Ooh, I ain't gonna have no time to do this right. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9 and 10. And the things that has been, it's that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It has been already of old times, which was before us. Okay? Now, go from Ecclesiastes, then we go to Proverbs. We go to Proverbs chapter 8, verse 31. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 31. Okay? Rejoicing in the habitable parts of the earth, and my delight were with the sons of men. And my delight was with the sons of men. Who? Jesus. Okay? Now let's go to Revelations chapter 12, verse 12. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Pay attention to this. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he know that he has but a short time. People on earth. Now we know this thing that happened with Satan happened millions of years ago. Now I know 6,000 years ago. But he said to the inhabitants on the earth, come on y'all, wake up. Okay? Nevertheless, the number 37 and 21 seems to be one with Father Elohim Yahweh and us. Now back to verse 3. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. 11 words. Mystery and mastery hollers here. But we must first let the 21 and the 37 speak to us. Shabokori Ashande. In order for this to happen, we must understand Matthew chapter 11 and John chapter 3 verse 1 to 6. Okay? Now before we go there, remember this verse has number 3, 21, 37, and 11 in it, and 7. Okay, we're talking about Genesis chapter 1 verse 3. Genesis 1 and 1 has 10 words. Yah, you're talking about God's hand. The hand of Elohim, Yahweh. Anyway, he wants to put his mark upon you and remove Satan's mark from you. Genesis chapter 4 verse 15 reflects this. Let's go to Matthew chapter 3 verse 9. Let's go to Matthew. I hate Russ. Let's go to Matthew chapter 3 verse 9, then 11. It's a 911. Y'all need to get it. It's a 911. Verse 9, then 11. And do you know Sunday, right after he gave that message from that 931 come out? 9th verse, 31 words. Came out straight in the evening. Go and check it for yourself. Okay? Now we here and he talking about the stones and whatnot. Oh, I need to do this part before we end. It's just gonna cut. I'm gonna have to cut this off. It's the 911. Remember Sunday Eve lottery numbers 931 came out straight in the 3-digit after he preached from Matthew chapter 3, and he spoke about 80,000 together at a stadium on 10/10/26. The day before I was guided. The day before I was guided back once again to John chapter 3, but I ain't gonna, because it's gonna cut off for me. I got the end, I'm gonna have to get right back on. I have to get right back on. Man, I hate this.